make sure we get this done. Hang on a minute. I'm going to get this set up so I don't have to move it around when y'all are ready to start. That there. Move this down here so I know where I need to address it. And we need to pull this down a little bit more. Up. Okay, so that's right. Okay, good enough. All right, now let me flip this back to me. And you can see my face upside down. There we go. All right, let's get this set up. I am a little bit early, and we'll get started here in just a minute. You know, when you look in the mirror, everything's going the wrong direction. Okay, let me just adjust this a little bit. I'm early, so just bear with me. Come on in when you get a few minutes. And we'll start at 11:30 for our sketch. In the meantime, let me go ahead and add the chat. I need to just copy this stuff so I don't have to keep typing it in each time, you know. All right, let's get the comments opened up and we'll get started in about 5 minutes. I'm a little bit early, and then we will get moving on here. Let's see. I need to figure out what I'm going to do here. Let me get my colors out. I'm trying to decide. All right. Do we want to do a different color? I'm trying to decide what color. Let's do something a little different. What if we do... what if we do... This is such a fun color, though. I like this. I'm looking at what we should color. Give me just a minute. I am going to decide here. I know we want to do this for our leaves, and let's do this one. Let's do another. Do I want pink or do I want red? Let's do this. We'll do this one. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and do that one. I think that'll be fine. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. I'm just trying to get myself organized here. All right. We are going to begin. The comments are open. So if you're on, we will get started in about three to 4 minutes. Let me get signed in on my phone so I can just see. We'll see what's going on here. So give me just a minute. Let me sign on. And we'll start probably in about 3 minutes. And let me just get to my page here. I hope everyone is doing well. Thank you for indulging in my change of dates. We had something come up for tomorrow mid-morning and I needed to reschedule this. So I greatly appreciate it. And yes, we are live. So that's great. It's always good when I'm on the right channel, right? All right, so we're good to go. All right, welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And it's 11:29, so we'll get started at about 11:31. I'll go through and do my introduction, and then we'll get started with our sketch today. We're going to do 2 cards, and You can take a picture, a screenshot of the sketch, or if you'd like to have it emailed to you, then you can just leave me a comment, sketch copy or whatever, you can put copy, and then I will email you or message you with a link to get the copy. So, but sketches are always fun to work with because it gives us the starting point that we need to create a card. So let's give it a couple more minutes and then we'll get started. And I forgot to bring my water. I don't think I brought my water over here. I didn't. Oh, well, it's okay. All right. So welcome, everyone. I know this is a change to our normal scheduled time, which is Saturday at 11:30. But again, I had to move it up for a conflict that we had for tomorrow. So, but just give me a minute or so, and I'm going to go grab my water, and I'll be back in just a flash. It's sitting right here on the counter. Okay. Never have enough water, right? Never enough water. Comments are open. So if you'd like to let me know that you're there, I would greatly appreciate that. And if you like what you see, please share with your friends. If you're out there watching incognito, that's fine as well. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. And we'll start here in just a few more minutes. And I got it. I'm on my phone, so we're good. I can see I'm live. That's a good thing. And let's see. Okay. All right, let's see. All right, let me get back to my channel. And we want to switch. All right. Let me go back. Need to switch back. There we go. There we go. Now we're on the live page. Okay. All right. Welcome, everyone. I am Dawn Duvall. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin Up. I've been doing this craziness for about 14 and a half years. And today is our monthly sketch. It's a drop. It's kind of like a jumping place to start if you kind of got a little bit of block, not sure what you want to do. So a sketch is really helpful for that, especially if you're a new person, a beginner that's just learning how to stamp. This kind of gives you a blueprint, if you will, on an idea of how you can create a card. So it's really fun. We're going to be doing 2 cards today. We should be done, I would think, no later than 12:15, 12:30 at the latest. And I do appreciate all of you allowing me to change. So I appreciate your, just appreciate allowing me to change it to today so that you can join rather than tomorrow. So I live in Fort Myers, Florida, for those that don't know me. And if you are watching on Facebook and you're new to my channel, welcome. If you like, please make sure that you like and share. And if you're watching on my YouTube channel, make sure if you haven't already subscribe to my channel and then click that bell. So each time I upload a new video, then you're going to be notified as soon as that is done. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera down. So give me just a minute. We're going to walk through the sketch and then we're going to go ahead and get started this Friday. It's not Saturday, Friday morning. So give me just a minute. Let me flip and oops, turn my light off. Hit the wrong buttons here. There we go. All right. Give me just a second. I want to get my sketch in here, so I have room to show you what we're doing. I don't guess you need to see my computer. All right, pretty good. Hopefully the light is good. If you have some issues with that, let me know. Let me check my phone real quick. Give me 1 second. Hi, Karen Joe. How are you? You can't run and you can't hide from me because I see ya. All right, let me see. Let's see. All right. Is that good lighting? I hope it is. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started. This is the sketch that we're going to work with. And the white part on the outside is our card base. And then I'm using, or according to the sketch, you want to use some patterned paper. And you want to have that, if you're doing a regular size card, then your card base is 8.5 by 5.5, and you score it at 4 1/4. And then this piece right here is going to be cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And then This one, I'll give you the measurements of what I've actually done. So then you're going to bring this one all, this one's going to come all the way down, as you can see. And then this piece will be whatever color you want. And that comes down to here. And then this is a side piece that we're going to do. And then I've got another piece, and then we're going to do our focal point. So I think that's a great way to start. Now you can use this any way you want. You can have this going landscape this way. You can have it in the portrait mode like that. You can, it's just to give you an idea of where to start. You don't have to add all these different layers unless you choose to do so. So, all right, so let's move off. Let's take this out of the way, and I'm going to bring in the card. This is the first card that I made. Now we're going to duplicate this, but I'm going to change up the color of the flowers. So this I am using the oh, look, it's the Thankful Garden, and the paper is from that sweet, and I think, oh, it's got a, I think it's called Lovely Garden. I didn't bring it. I didn't leave a piece out. I believe it's Lovely Garden. So, and then the inside, I've done this on a thick basic white, and I left the inside blank, obviously, so that I can write my message. So this is the stamp set we're going to work with today. We're going to use this stamp here. And then I'm also using You Make the Difference. Now look at that. That doesn't look like that it would be a very large stamp, but look how it is, which is perfect for what we're doing. All right, on this particular card. So let me go ahead and bring in my papers, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. And then I did another card this morning because I just thought, well, this isn't going to take very long. And if y'all are going to stop by for at least 30 minutes, then we might as well do 2 cards, right? So, all right, this is cut at 5.5. Let me bring in the paper trimmer. I'm going to score it real quick at 4 1/4. I would fold it. This is the thick basic white. Sometimes it's better to do the scoring piece. So I'll just go ahead and give it a quick score, and then we're going to fold it. And that way we know that our paper is going to be even on front and back. So it's going to look perfect. So let's take our bone folder, and all of these items that I'm using can be found in my online store. And all of that information is below the video. All right, now I'm taking a piece of this paper, this designer paper, and this is from, one of the scrapbooking. No, hang on. I don't remember. I'll put it in the comments down below. I believe it's one of the scrapbooking kits, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is from the floral, hang on. It is from, oh, Lovely Garden. Hello. Didn't I tell you that earlier? It is the Lovely Garden paper. All right. So this is going to be our base. So we're going to go ahead. I'm telling you, it's Friday morning. I keep thinking it's Saturday. All right. So we're going to go ahead and add our adhesive. And we're going to just run that all the way around the edges. And I'll just put a little bit on the inside. Let me put my glue holder closer to me. All right, this is, again, is cut 4 by 5 1/4. So we're going to line that up. It's going to give it 1/8 of an inch border. So all the way around. Doesn't have to be exact. You can cut it whatever size you would like. All right, now the next one we're going to do. Now I'm using the 2-tone cardstock, and this is the Crushed Curry 2-tone cardstock. And if you watched me Tuesday, you heard me talk about this. It comes in 12 by 12 sheets. It's not as thick as our regular cardstock. It's less expensive, and you can either use whichever side is going to coordinate with what you're trying to create. So since we have the yellows in here that are rather light, I'm going to use the lighter side of the 2. So this is cut at 3 3/4 by 5. I know that. So we're going to go ahead and glue that down. All right. So we're going to go ahead and add some adhesive to the back of this. And again, you're going to see it's a very simple card. So, and this is really good if you're going to do a lot of cards. You can do an assembly line. So you can cut everything, get everything cut, and then just start putting them together. All right. So we're going to lay that there. Now, again, it's going to leave us a border so that we can see our really, pretty flowers. And then I'm going to take the back side of that paper. Okay. So this is the piece I cut. This is 4 by 1.5, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. 1.5 inches. And I'm just going to flip that over. And I'm going to lay this here. I'm going to probably put it right about there. I'm going to leave a little bit more room for the sentiment, and you can adjust this however you see fit, okay? You can make it, if you've got a larger sentiment, then you can move it up. It's whatever, however you want to do that. And you can put your sentiment anywhere you want, okay? So you can put it on top of the flower if you choose to do so. All right, so we're going to go ahead and lay this down. So we're going to add our adhesive to the back here. And I'm going to lay this one, I'm going to move this one up just a little bit more just for fun. But you're still getting, so we're still sticking somewhat to the design. Now this is another piece of that paper, Lovely Garden. And I'm going to flip it over. I kind of like the dots on this. Now this piece I've cut down. Now this one's at 3 1/4 by 4 inches. We're going to stamp on this, and then we're going to apply that right about there. So before I do that, we're going to stamp our image, and we will go ahead and color. Now I'm going to use, and I've mentioned this to y'all before, I love the Secret C. I love this black color. That's what I'm going to ink my flower up with. And again, this is part of the, what I do with the stamp set, part of the Thankful Garden. All right, so let's get this inked up with our black, and this is called Secret C. And I'm going to close that up because I don't want to get it in my way. And then I'm going to lay this on here, and then we're going to color it with our Stampin' Blends. So I'm going to get it right. Now, some of these might go off the edge, which is fine. So I'm going to place it right about like that. And then I'm going to push down and give it some good pressure to make sure that our ink transfers on our paper. Okay, I think we should be good with that. There we go. Isn't that nice? And I just love the little dots in it. I think it just really does a nice job. All right, now we're going to color. So this one I did in Highland Heather. This one I think I'm going to do in tongue-tied Petunia Pop. So we're going to do Petunia Pop for this one. I'm going to use the dark, and I'm going to go into the inside of the flowers where the artist has made these little markings just to give it a little bit of inside texture on these flowers. And I'm just going to go around and kind of make some little splotchy lines. And if you want to make it like more of a circle, you can do that. If they've got lines in it, then I will highlight those as well. On this card, I wasn't thinking when I did it yesterday, I started highlighting the dots, and then I realized that the dots aren't part of the flower, it's part of the paper. So if you see that right there, you'll see what I did, but that's okay. No one's going to notice it. So I'm just going to come in and make some darker spots for the inside of our flower. It's kind of like the dark part, right? And we'll just go around and make sure we've got a little bit right here, not much. And I think that's that. So now we're going to come in, and this is really a quick and easy way. I can't comment on the live. Oh, I wonder why. It's open. Why are you not able to comment? Oh, now you're on YouTube. Well, that's kind of, what have I done? Did I hit a button? Maybe I hit a button and I don't know. But anyway, sorry about that. Okay, so now we're going to come in with the light Petunia Pop, and I'm going to use the thicker end, and I'm just going to start coloring the insides. Now, bear in mind, you want to be careful when you use the larger tip, is you want to try to stay away from the edges because this is going to spread. So if you're not sure, then my recommendation would be to use the other end, which is a little bit smaller. So we're just going to come in, and I'm just going to color in these petals. And this is the time consuming part, right? So let me just get some, I just like to go around the outsides first so I don't get any ink, outside. And if you leave some little whites through it, I think that's fine. It's just going to show kind of like the lighting. So I'm just going to come around and lightly color these, and just so that we see that we've got some flowers. And then I like to turn the paper as I'm coloring, just to make sure that I'm not going to go outside of the lines. Now we do have our color lifter, so that's very helpful. But when you get into these darker colors, sometimes it really doesn't make that much. I mean, it does help, but It's just best if you just take your time and try to stay away from the outside, from the lines, because it's going to spread anyways. And as you can see, I'm just going around, you know, petal by petal. Okay, and I'm leaving a little bit of white spacing in them. I think that's fine. And I could probably do this quicker with the smaller one, but then it just takes a little bit. This one I can hit more spots than the small one would take a little bit more time because you've got to, and I'm going to color right here. All right, and then we'll start on this one. I just thought this was cute. I like this paper with the backside and the little dots on it because it kind of makes gives the flower kind of a unique look, don't you think? And then we're just going to continue to color. And I know that y'all just love to watch me color, right? So, okay, so while I'm doing this, I'm gonna just talk to you about today. We had a dog sitter that we've used before with Riley. We wanted her to come over and meet Rosie. So when we get ready to go out of town in the fall, we'll have somebody that will, outside of our other friend, will be able to watch her, right? So, hey, Linda, how you doing? So she came over this morning, and my husband, not thinking, before she got here, decided he was going to give the dog a dog treat. And I said, don't do that because she hasn't done anything. Now she knows something's up. Well, sure enough, what do you think she did? She went under the couch. The lady showed up. She was here almost probably a good 45 minutes. And do you think Rosie came out? Nope. Because she knew something was up when Chuck gave her that treat. So she decided, no, I'm going to go under the couch so you can't get me. So I tried to I tried to take the broom, not to push her with it, but to put it behind her, you know, off to the side where she would get the hint to, you know, move. She wasn't having any of that. So she stayed under the couch the entire time. And Chuck realized that he was wrong in giving her a treat. You know, dogs are smart, right? Animals are smart. She knew exactly. She knew something was going on. So she decided she was going to hide under the couch. So she stayed there. Well, it wasn't more than 6 minutes after she left. She decided to come out because I knew she had to go to the bathroom because it's been a couple of hours. And sure enough, she decided to come out. And when she has to go potty, she starts shaking because she knows she's got to go outside. And so Chuck was putting the leash on her and he goes, she's shaking. I said, yeah, because she's got to go pee. That's why. So bless her little heart. So she did come out finally. And oh my gosh, I tell you, what do you do, right? Poor little thing. She just stressed herself out over nothing. So the dog sitter is actually staying at one of our neighbors in the building next door. So she's going to come over Sunday after church. And this time, Chuck is going to make sure before she gets here that he has Rosie in his lap so she doesn't try to escape. I tell you, it's crazy. And Dana, the lady Dana, she was on the floor with her arm under the couch talking to Rosie, really sweet. She said, oh, she looks like she might be moving. Well, she moved, but she wasn't going to come out yet. So, but you got to love it. But anyway, so she goes, that was fine. I haven't seen y'all in a while. So it was good to catch up, which, you know, still, you know, it's her time off. She didn't want to sit here probably yakking with us, which she did, which was fine. But oops, I just went outside a little bit, but that's all right. Okay. So anyways, that's the story of this morning and the dog trying to get her to come out of the couch, which now has become apparently her hiding spot. Otherwise, we keep the bedroom doors shut so she can't go into those rooms. So that way, because otherwise she'll go into the beds in there as well. So it's okay. All right. So there we are. That is done with Petunia Pop. Now, if these are too dark, I could come in and let me just show you. If I wanted some of these a little bit lighter, I could take our color lifter and let's just say I want this one here a little lighter. I can just kind of rub this on here. Whoops, that's not the color lifter. Hold on, I'm bringing up the wrong one. That's a chalk marker. That wasn't too bright. Now I added a little bit of white to it, but that's okay. Whoops. Where is my color lifter? Hang on a minute. It's here somewhere. Where I moved it. Where is my color lifter? Hang on, you guys. I know it's here. Well, it was here. This is a no. That's a chalk marker. We don't want that. Well, I was going to show you how we could lift the color. Hang on. I've got a lid over here that's blocking one of my colors. I moved stuff around yesterday. Well, you know what? I've lost my color lifter. I don't know what I've done with it. Hang on. Oh, here it is. It's in the tray where it belongs. Okay, this is the color lifter. I don't know what I was thinking. So if we want this to get a little bit lighter, let's go over here. We can just pull it down and see how it kind of lifts some of that color off. And then you just wipe it on a piece of paper to take the paper off. And you can see how that one, see how that's a little bit lighter. Let me pull it up to the camera. See how that one's a little bit lighter. So you can always go around and lighten some of them up if you choose to do so, if it's too dark. Okay, so I have a marker, Stampin' Blend holder. So you would think that I would pay attention. That's where it was. So anyways, all right, so we've got that done. Let me move these things out of the way. Now we got to color our leaves. I'm going to use Granny Apple. And the only reason is I need to order some Old Olive. I have 3 Old Olive darks, but I don't have any Old Olive light. And I'm pretty sure I don't. Let me see what this one is. Oh, this is an Old Olive light. Well, we're going to go with Granny Apple because I like that color. All right, so this is the Granny Apple. This is the dark. So I'm going to go through and do the stem a little bit darker. And then I'm going to come in and just do the highlights of the veins in the petal of the leaf. And I just kind of follow what the artist does. Not that you don't have to really think about it. They've already done the work for you. All right, so we're going to take that. And then I'm going to come back in with the light. And we're going to go ahead and color this one. And this won't take very long at all. Just make sure I don't go inside my petunia pop and get that on my flower. So we'll just come in off the edges. And again, if you want a lighter shade, then you can use the color lifter, which is nice. And again, all of these can be found in my online store if you're just joining me for the first time. And all of that information is below in the video. All right, so this, and then we're going to do a second card just to give you ideas. You know, I love sketches because, you know, even though most of us make cards, sometimes you just kind of have a little block and think, I need a starting point. So they're great for a jumping off or just to give you something different. And then you can change it up to whatever, you know, however you like it, right? All right, so we're going to leave it just like that. I think that looks pretty good. And I like the darkening inside. Now, if you think it needs to be a little bit darker, the veins to give it a little bit more accent, then we can just come back in and just do a little bit more darkening with our dark Granny Apple. And you can see how it's doing a little bit more definition there. All right. Okay, so we have that done. So now we're going to add that on here. Now this one I laid down flat. I think I'm going to pop this one up on dimensionals. I think that might give it a little bit, bear with me, I got to get my dimensionals out. I think it might make it pop out a little bit better, hence the word dimensionals. And this is that pretty paper on the back side. So let's go ahead and then we'll stamp our sentiment. I'm going to put 6 dimensionals on here. So I'm going to put them in each corner. And then I usually do the center. I just add I add 2 a little bit closer in. That way we have enough to give it some pop here. And it won't fall down in the center. So let's go ahead and get this on here. All right. So yep, make sure all those are done. And now we're going to take, and I'm going to lay this right about here. And I'm going to have a little bit of the black showing, the black stripes. I think I like that, looks good. All right, so there we go with that. Now we're going to stamp our sentiment. I'm going to do the same thing. And again, this is from the Thankful Garden. And we're going to use the Make a Difference. Just like I did here, you make a difference. So we're going to use the same sentiment. So let me go ahead and add some ink to that. All right. And then we're going to stamp it right here on the crushed curry. And that is the two-toned cardstock, and this is the lighter of the two shades. So I'm going to place that right there. We'll let it sit for just a minute so I can make sure that the ink does transfer. And there we go. All right, so there is this card, and this one was done in Petunia Pop, and this one was Highland Heather. Now, isn't that cute? So let me bring the sketch back in, and then we'll move on to our next card. So here's what the sketch was, right? And then here's what we did with our card. So I think I did pretty good. Now, I didn't do all this little fancy stuff here, but that's okay. It's your sketch. You make it however you want, right? All right, so let's move this off to the side for just a moment. Now we're going to come in and do our second card. Now this one, we're going to be using the everyday, let me get it. It's right here. Hang on. It's everyday. Oh, happiness every day, I think it is. Hang on a minute. We've used this paper before. I absolutely love this paper. Everyday Happiness. And this comes in the wild wheat, which is retired. So if you have the ink and everything, you might want to keep that in the cardstock. This comes in, you can purchase this in a pack of just 12 by 12 paper, or you can get it with sticker sheets. So there's two in the catalog. The one with the sticker sheets is $17, and the one that is just strictly the designer paper, those are $12.50. Okay. All right. So we're going to start. Let me get this here. We're going to decorate our envelope today too. So let me move this out of the way because this is going to be our envelope. So we're going to put that right there for now. All right. So this is that paper. I love this paper. I'm kind of sad that wild wheat went away. It took me a year and a half to really come into that color. And then I just really, really liked it. Right. It just gives you this great kind of goldish tan brown color. And of course, then they decided they had to retire it, which is a little disappointing, but maybe they'll bring it back at some point. Who knows? Okay. So a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of thick basic white cardstock, and then scored at 4 1/4. Now this one, I'm going to do the same portrait. I could have done landscape, but for this one, I wanted to do this. Now I am going to use the Humble Home. And I think I mentioned this to you the other day. This is on the last chance list. And I purchased this because we do welcoming baskets for neighbors. And I thought this would be perfect with a little house to make a welcoming card. So that's what we're using. All right. So I've now cut. And again, we're doing 4 by 5 1/4. Don't you just love it? I love these colors. I mean, this is Lost Lagoon, Petal, Pretty Peacock, and of course the wild wheat. And I just love these colors together. And then this is the back side. Don't you love that? Those flowers. Isn't it gorgeous? I decided to go with the viney thing. I could have done the flowers, but since we did flower on the other card, I thought I'd just do the viney thing here. All right, let me throw some glue on that. And this isn't going to take very long because I'm not going to color. I'm just going to stamp the house, and I'll show you what I'm going to do here. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. Now, I know you're going to think this is weird. This is a scrap. I have my wild wheat, but I just packaged it up to sell it since it's retired. And this was the only piece that I had, but I thought, you know what? That's fine. That's going to go well because when I put everything on here, it's going to work perfectly. So I'm going to glue this on here. This is the back side of this paper that you see with the stars. And I'm going to place this right here. Now I'm going to leave it when I get ready to glue this down. I'm going to leave it like that. So to give it just a different look. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment right here. So something different. It's fine. It's, I cut it down to go with that. That piece was already cut, but I thought, why not? So I moved it to the left side. I had it folded on the other side to be on the right, and I didn't like it on the right. I said, well, we're going to move it to the left. All right, so we're going to lay this down. Now this piece is cut, should be the same as the other one, but let me just let you know. This one I cut at 3.5 by 4 3/4, except for this little corner right there, but that's fine. All right, and then we're going to add this piece. This is going to go right here. Okay, so that's 4 by 1.5 as well. So we're going to go ahead and add this one. Yeah, I'm going to put this down. And then I'm not going to color in the house. I'm just going to stamp it because I thought it looked kind of cool. All right, so I'm going to add this right about there and line it up so it goes edge to edge of our cardstock. I got room to stamp my sentiment. Now I'm just going to take this piece, and I like this because of the stars. I'm going to stamp the house in black, and I'm not going to color it. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. And I just thought that would be something a little bit different rather than trying to color on the designer paper. So I'm just going to stamp my house in black. Well, Secret C. And I'm going to stamp him right in the center. Let me get it up here where y'all can see. I'm going to stamp it right about there. All right, I'm going to let that sit for just a second while I close this up because I don't want to be wearing this. All right, so we're going to be done here in probably 10 minutes. So there you go. All right, so there, isn't that cute? I just thought that looked cute with the stars all the way around. So you really don't see them inside the house, but you've got it all the way around. So I thought, well, I don't want to color it. I just really like that simplicity to this. And I think on this one, I'm going to pop this one up on Dimensionals as well. So let's go ahead and do that. And let me grab my Dimensionals. I just have, oh, here we are. And before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my, I'm going to do welcome. And I'm going to stamp that in black. So let me pull that back out again. I'm going to go ahead and stamp that before I put my other one down, just to make sure that once it's popped up, it's not going to be in my way. And I think that's going to be fine. All right, so we're going to stamp welcome. I'm going to move it over a little bit. So it's going to be kind of off-centered, but centered on the wild wheat. And there we go. So that's going to be our welcome. And then on the inside, I'll use the stamp set. And if there's anything else, I can put the heart in there. You've got Merry Christmas, so you can use that as well. Thank you for the sweet gift from our house to yours. So there's all sorts of different, pardon me, sentiments that you can use for this. So now we're going to go ahead and pop this down. Oh, you're moving water. Oh, the sprinkler. Oh yeah, Linda. We don't have to worry about that because that's all done here for us. So, but we used to do that. Oh, the dog, I tell you. Hi, Diane. Welcome. I tell you, Rosie's coming into her own. The dog is just, she's a sweetheart. And I'm only going to put one dimensional in the center. She is really coming into her own. We just get her used to being around strange people. And once she warms up to you, she's a sweet, sweet, sweet dog. I think we're very fortunate that we chose this dog. So I think in the big scheme of things, she'll be fine. She's very quick learner. So, and I'm going to really start working on teaching her how to sit, stay, and all that stuff. So, but she's doing good. All right. So I've put these on Dimensionals, and I'm going to place this on here, and you can place it however you want. I'm just going to leave a nice little border since this is a little bit smaller piece, and I'm going to place it right about there. Isn't that cute? I just thought that was cute, and I just love these colors. I just love this color. Oh, all right. So there's that. Now, of course, you know me. We're going to have an envelope to match. I could have done this on the other one, but I thought, well, let's just do it on this one. So we're going to cut, now this is the back side. Isn't that pretty? And that would be good. When we were doing that boat, I should have looked at this paper because that could have been water. That could have been, I could have colored this beige, and that could have been the water from the beach, but I wasn't thinking. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and glue this down. Now, I always use my Stampin Seal. So I'm going to use my seal right around the edges of the flap just to hold it in place. And then you don't need to make long ones if you want. You can just do small. And then this one, I come right along the flap where it folds over. And I want to have this side to show. So I'm going to lay this on here, and it's wide enough to get us to where we need to be as far as cutting the flap. So I line it up just right a hair above the fold, and we're going to lay that down. And then we're just going to bring in our paper snips And we're going to cut, and that's enough that I will save this designer paper. I'll trim off this part that I'm cutting, obviously. And then we're just going to cut this along the outside flap. So this is a good thing. If you all have paper, pattern paper laying around, as we all tend to collect and hoard it, this is a great way to use up your paper. All right, so we're just going to come around. You can decorate your inside the envelopes also. You could take a piece if you chose and cut it down. You can measure from here inside and have it just come down right below. So this is decorated here. So you could technically, if we had a bigger piece, we could do it like that. And then this would be tucked under and you could corner, do your corner, round your corners. Okay. So I'm just going to take this piece and I'm snipping this off right here. And now I've got a nice piece that I can use for something else. All right. So there is our card. Now, isn't that beautiful how it just coordinates? And I could have done the same thing with this one. So there is our 2 cards for our sketch. And let me pull the sketch in for those that haven't seen it. So let me make some room here. Here is our sketch. We've got that. And we've got this card here. And we have this card right there. So there you go. I hope this inspires you. If you'd like a download of this, just let me know. Just leave me a comment and just put sketch, and I'll email this to you or message it to you as well so that you can have this and you can print it out if you need it. All right, so that is our Saturday. I mean, see, I keep thinking we're Saturday because I'm on the wrong day of the week. Hey, Sharon, how are you? All right, so it's Creation Anticipation Sketch with me, Dawn, and I'm with Shall We Stamp is my business name. And normally this is held on Saturdays at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, but we had another commitment come up, so I went ahead and moved it to today. So thank you, everyone, for taking a little bit of time out of your Friday morning, afternoon. I greatly appreciate it. And I will be back on Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our weekly Facebook and YouTube Live. And then next Friday, if I'm not mistaken, I should be. Let me just double check my calendar. I believe it is our, yes, next week is Technique Friday. So that is a Fundamental Friday at 12 o'clock on August, what is it? The 22nd. Is that right? Yep, August 22nd. So, all right, everybody, thank you so much. I hope you've been inspired by my sketch and these cards. Have a great weekend, and I look forward to seeing you all back on Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I will be on YouTube as well as my Facebook page. If you need anything, please reach out. Don't forget, I have paper shares. They're still available. If you'd like to get more information, just leave me a comment, shares, and I'll send you the link so you can look at the information and see if that's something that you might want to take advantage of. All right, everybody, thanks again, and I'll see you Tuesday evening. Bye now.